Lights, camera, rolling, action.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
He's looking at you, kid.
Say hello to my little friend!
Hi, this is Joe, and this is the Filmjoe podcast, where film talk happens.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Hi, I'm Joe, your host, and I'm here with Daisy.
Hello.
And welcome to the podcast where we talk about films, filmmakers, trends, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, all in the spirit and for the love of films. So, this is a good one. We are going to be covering this week when space travelers meet unfriendly aliens.
Awesome. I love me some aliens.
Oh, yeah. So we're covering two really good ones. Well, okay, that's to be debated. But we're going to go with, one that basically is by one of cinema's most prolifically brilliant filmmakers ever, Ridley Scott.
Yes, definitely.
And yes. And the second one is cinema's most prolifically bad filmmakers, Roger Corman. So let's see how this goes. But before we dive into this, let's keep in mind, hey, we're not professional film critics here. We're just here to have fun and not cause up a stir or anything. We just love talking about movies.
That's right.
Absolutely. So what you been up to? It's been a while since we talked.
Nothing much. A funny thing happened to me that was brought up to my attention the other day.
Okay.
So recently, I've been working at a little like a little grocery store in our village.
Oh, excuse me. In your town, little town.
My little town. And, and yeah, the coolest thing happened. I was told that I have an accent.
You have an accent?
I have a freaking accent.
The fuck? What kind of accent do you have?
Oh, fuck if I know. So a customer, so I help the customer outside with her groceries, and we're just chit chatting. She goes, what ethnicity are you? I'm like, well, I was born in the United States, but my mom and dad are Puerto Rican. They were born in Puerto Rico. She goes, oh, okay, yeah, and then so we started talking and whatever, and so that's that. Another customer was talking to me. She goes, by the way, I love your accent. What the fuck? I'm like, I have an accent? She goes, oh, yes, it's a lovely accent. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So after that, I asked my coworker, I go, dude, do I have an accent? And she goes, oh yeah, you roll your R's a lot. I go, I knew that, but not when I'm speaking English.
You're like, really?
Really? I'm like totally dumbfounded. I'm like, holy crap! I've always wanted an accent.
Wow. Now you got one. And I'm sure, those folks are like, oh, be careful. Those Puerto Ricans are now rolling into upstate.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, man.
They're invading.
Yeah, seriously. No, I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah, I've always wanted an accent. I just never realized I had one. So, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen, I have an accent.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, guess what I just recently saw?
What you see? What you see?
Well, I finally got to see Romulus, Alien Romulus.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I already have at the time of this episode drops, I've already dropped the flash review for the film,
Right.
and I really loved it. It is freaking badass. I mean, have you seen Don't Breathe?
No.
Don't Breathe 2? Obviously not. If you didn't see the first one, you didn't see the second, right? There.
Possibly not. No.
Okay. And what was it? The remake of The Evil Dead.
I did see the remake of The Evil Dead. Yes.
Okay.
Really cool.
All right. So the director is his name is Fede Alvarez. The dude knows terror. He knows tension. He knows action. He knows how to really tighten up the intensity.
Right.
But he also, I guess you can tell, he respects and loves the genesis of this franchise, and he brings it back to where it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have Prometheus, which was it was beautiful to look at, had some great sequences, but it was a fucking mess. It was all over the place.
Okay.
With idiotic characters that made no kind of sense. C- Covenant was similar in that it was just beautiful to look at, but it was just a mess. And I think the problem with the latter part of the franchise is that they tried to go too deep or in different directions, and they went further and further away from what Alien and Aliens had established.
Right, exactly.
And they bring it back. I mean, Freddie Alvarez is like, let's rein it back and let's not convolute this fucking thing. And that's what I think they did with Covenant, and especially Prometheus. You got the engineers, the black goop, the idiotic scientists sitting there going, "Oh, look, it's an alien. Let's poke at it
Alien
with our."
shit.
Yeah, exactly. And Fede Alvarez keeps it simple in that he does reference, or he does make some sort of reference to Alien. He makes
Okay.
reference to Prometheus, or at least a visual reference, and he kind of ties them in without getting too complicated, and just gets to the point.
Yeah, because to
And
be honest, I haven't seen any of the Alien movies past part two.
really, well, you know what? You're not missing much. I mean, they're fans of Alien 3, which was directed by David Fincher, who I love. I love Fincher's work.
Hmm.
But it was bad. I mean, at least to
Oh.
me. Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, you can chalk that one up to studio interference. They jumped in and said, "Well, we want this, we want that. Don't do this, do that," and so forth.
Hmm.
And there's a storied history with Alien 3. But
Hmm.
Fede Alvarez definitely goes, "This is what Alien is," and he gives it his own flavor. So you got a little bit of a feeling of Alien and a
Hmm.
bit of a feeling of Aliens. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, plus some true terror, and he gives it his own. It's like he mixes it together and said, "This is my concoction," but at the same time paying respect and homage to the original Alien and Aliens. It's fantastic. I loved it, and I'm like, my thing was finally a fucking alien film, an alien film, not some bullshit of, well, we have an engineers and we got the black goop and they went and did this and did that, and
Hmm.
they jumped in the fucking river and they spread their bullshit, and get the fuck out of here.
So I mean, because I think that's well, I'm like I said, I haven't seen the other movies, but what I'm guessing is they're trying to explain, or are they trying to get into like the origins and why there's aliens? Because if that's the case, that's what makes the original so awesome. Is just the unknown, not knowing where the hell this thing came from.
Exactly. And it's kind of like the Jaws and Shark. The Jaws and Shark. Okay, no more rum for me. Um, Fuck. It's kind of like the shark in Jaws. You know what it is, and so forth. It's just a killing machine. What's its motive? Just to hunt and to kill and to eat. And
Exactly.
and the alien in Ridley Scott's Alien that is established is just a killing machine. This is xenomorph that just is out to, it's to not even hunt. It's just to destroy and kill.
Hmm.
And it has no reason. It has no mode of thinking, and like nothing. It's just a killing machine, and that's what's so fucking terrifying about the original. And I will say, without trying to be too spoilery,
Hmm.
um, the face huggers, they really take front and center in a lot of the action in this.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, because those things were they were scary.
Oh fuck, they're amazing in this. And what's great is there's no retconning in this. There's no like, well, let's rewrite a little bit of the history because, a la Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Here is like, this was established. So if you look at it, you go, wait a minute, the face huggers weren't that intense in the first and the second one. No, but we know they were badass, but we just didn't get to see them in the full action. So they're not retconning. It's like, okay, remember R2D2 in Attack of the Clones? We have fucking rockets in his legs.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
the fuck didn't he use them in episode 4, right? You kind of like, that doesn't make any kind of sense.
They were broken.
Well, that's what it was. Yeah. So they don't do none of that bullshit here. And again, it's done with complete and total respect, and was done with the blessings of both Cameron and Scott. And it's a true alien film. So the chronology takes place between Alien and Aliens.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I definitely need to check that out.
yeah, absolutely. I highly recommend it. So Also, I went in a little, marathon the other day. I saw all Blade films: Blade One, Blade Two, Blade Trinity.
Oh, there's only three of them, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's only three, and
I
fuck.
don't remember the second one though.
Oh, the second one's amazing. Guillermo del Toro, he directed that one. Yeah, del Toro directed the second one. He did not direct Crimson Tide, though. Um,
Dork.
yeah, yeah,
You just had to make it up, right?
yeah. I had to. But they're great. And watching these, you're like, oh fuck, no. There's only one Blade, and that's Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, you can't replace him.
I mean, Marshala Ali is an amazing actor, and
Oh,
I like,
no, undoubtedly, but
yeah.
eh.
But you watch Wesley; he's just a badass. He's got, Marshall Ali. He's too classy, and not to say that Wesley Snipes is not, but Wesley Snipes brings out the hood in his
Yeah,
character.
you know what though? Without going overboard.
Yeah, and I loved it. So, I mean, Disney went out on the limb and went hardcore art with Deadpool Wolverine. Will they do it again? And the Blade films just had a specific flavor and a specific essence to it that just made it perfect. Wesley Snipes played it with zeal. He had a lot of fun
Mhm.
doing it.
Yeah, he
And
did. That's oh man.
eh,
You know what? Like I said, I don't remember the second one. I do remember the third one, which actually it was funny. Ryan Reynolds was in it, right?
yeah, and he was great. In fact, that's my first exposure to him. I know he had done a couple of films before that. I think one of them was Waiting.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, which is great. But this is the first time I'd really actually seen him when this movie first came out. I'm like, wow, this guy's funny. He's good.
Mhm.
He takes charge of his scenes of his character. And of course, what's her name? Jennifer Beal,
Um,
or is it
I was
Jessica?
gonna say
Is it
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Jennifer Beal was from Flashdance. Durr.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but no, Jessica Biel was sexy, was badass, and you believed her as just being this kick-ass vampire killer.
Mhm.
And they were a great compliment. Although the movie is panned a lot by a lot of people, they're like, "No, that was the worst one of the trilogy." Me personally, I loved it very much. I mean, it's up there with the second one almost.
Mhm. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Maybe there was something about the second one that I just didn't want to remember. I don't know. I
Yeah.
remember the first one. I remember the third one.
Yeah, you got to check them out. They're really good. I mean, just to watch them back to back to back, they're so much fun.
All right, I'll put that on my list.
Put it on your list. It may pop up on season 4. You never know, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Uh,
Ooh.
so, also, before we continue, I really want to give a shout out. There's this new podcast that I've been listening to. I'm very picky with podcasts. I'll listen to an episode and maybe 10, 15 minutes in. If I get that far, I'm like, sorry, this doesn't work for me. And there's a new podcast I've been listening to called Meandering Movies. And these guys are hilarious. It's hosted by Gavin and Gary, two really good friends that you really just go at each other, talk about film, talk shit. They pretty much go on sidebar upon sidebar, but they get back to it. I mean, they're just really funny and they're very amusing. I mean, they will have you laughing out loud. They are really, really good. But like I said, they'll go into the silliness of their, their show, and they really go goofy, really, but hilarious. But when they get into the nitty gritty of analyzing and breaking down a film, these two gentlemen know what they are talking about. I mean, they're really, really good. So you have a good time. You're educated about film, and you get a new perspective on things. I mean, they do breakdowns of like the definitive list of this Spider-Man films or Alien and Predator films, and they'll bring from the best to the worst, and
Mm.
hilarious all the way through. But they make a lot of great points, and again, they know what they are talking about. And again, so let me give a great big shout out to Gavin and Gary of Meandering Movies. You guys have an awesome podcast, folks. Please check them out. They're amazing. I'll have their link to their podcast in the show notes below. So please check these two guys out. You won't regret it. They're a lot of fun.
Awesome, awesome.
All right. So like I said just a little while ago, this is the last episode of season 3.
Woo!
Wow. It doesn't even feel like we've it was so effortless. It was an amazing season. It was so much fun.
It really was. Met some awesome people along the way.
Oh
Made some
yes.
friends. Yes.
Oh, it's just been an amazing experience. And now, folks, don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't call 911. Don't bring in the National Guard. We will be back. We're coming back. Trust me.
You didn't say that right.
How
You didn't
was
say
it?
that. We'll be back.
We'll be back. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing starting next week, we're going to be dropping mini episodes, mini bonus episodes, one a week. So it's going to be 4 of them, and we're covering a very special franchise. You ready for this?
All right, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Jaws.
What?
Jaws, yes. Now, I know because we're approaching the 50th anniversary, I believe, and everybody's been covering it. And what's there to say more about Jaws? And I thought about it. I'm like, everybody's covering Jaws. Everybody's talking about it. And several podcasts I've listened to it. They've talked about it. Great points, great episodes. I'm like, what the fuck can I offer? But it's Jaws. I fucking love this movie. So we have to cover it.
Oh yeah, right. You know what? That's a movie that also I haven't gone beyond part 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, you're going to love this because we're going to go week 1, Jaws. Week 2, Jaws 2. Week 3, Jaws 3D minus the 3D. And finally, wouldn't that be great if we can watch it in 3D?
That would be cool.
And the final week, we're going to be covering Jaws, The Revenge. This time it's personal.
Oh, good Lord. That sounds like fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You know
what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make fish tacos to watch these movies.
Oh, get into the spirit of it. There you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ah, fantastic. So that's what we're planning for. And, we have a lot of plans for season 4. Hopefully we get some really great guests to join us, old friends, new friends. And so we're really excited. We really are. And hopefully everyone would join us on this. And, with that being said, season 3 was special. It was a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of growth on the show. Special thanks out to Liz and Mike.
Love you guys.
You guys are awesome. From Ouch, was that a ghost? Thank you guys for the love. Sean and Shannon of Sinful Cuts. You guys rock.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And you've inspired us to keep going and doing, so much more.
Love you guys too, by the way.
Much love. And also to Melvin of the Cinematic Doctrine podcast, who recently had me on, I believe. At the time of this recording, it should come out the same week. So if you guys get a chance to check it out, you can either I don't know if I'll have it on the in the show notes. If not, it'll be on our Linktree link. So it'll be in there. You'll be able to find it. We'll be covering a movie called The Outsiders.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Melvin. Thank you, Listen, Mike, Sean and Shannon. God bless. Thank you so much.
Righto.
Oh, and especially one big special thanks to my co-host Daisy. Thank you.
Well, thank you, brother, for having me on here. It's been an honor. And, yeah,
it's been so much fun. It's amazing, and look forward to doing this every week.
Yes, definitely. I always look forward every week to doing this with you. So thank you.
And thank you. Oh, don't tear up now. Oh,
little boogies.
You. But again, we are going to be taking a break, but not really. So, folks, you can still have to put up with us for the next 4 weeks.
Yep, that's right.
All right. So, what do you say we jump into this episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, we are going to cover the best of the worst of films that deal when space travelers meet unfriendly aliens.
Love it.
Yes. So now for the first film, watch out for giant, horny space worms.
What are the odds of us getting out of here?
What are the odds? We lose.
Stranded astronauts Edward Albert and Aaron Moran battle hordes of hideous shadow demons, encounter the razor-sharp living glass, brave the pit of doomed souls, just to discover the only way out is death.
A ragtag spaceship crew sent on a rescue mission encounter a formidable enemy, their worst fears projected by their own imaginations. The film we're talking about here is Galaxy of Terror from 1981, and it's directed by Bruce D. Clark, and it stars Edward Albert, Aaron Moran, Ray Walston, Sid Haig, and Richard England. Okay, so
Richard England.
yes,
Robert England, fool.
Robert England? Or is it
Robert England. Oh dear Lord.
Robert England. It's not my fault. It's right here on the
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
on the screen.
Crimson Peak.
Some idiot wrote it incorrectly.
Crimson Peak.
You know what? So anyway, so this one, we're gonna go on the Filmjoe scale. We'll be rating this on a scale of 1 to 10. Giant worms.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah, that was the most. Yeah. So, so have you seen this before?
No, I have never seen it before. My husband was watching it one day, and I wasn't really into it. At the time, I was playing video games on my Switch, so I really wasn't. I usually don't pay attention to the movies that he watches simply because they're very shocking and gory.
Yeah, he does like that really sick stuff. He
Yeah,
does.
yeah. So that's why I try to avoid watching his movies until I know they're safe. But it's funny though, because I did glance at it and I looked at it and I go, hey, they're wearing the same outfits that were worn on freaking Battlestar Galactica.
They were.
And my husband looks at me like, God damn, you're a nerd. I go, yes, I love Battlestar Galactica. And we
That's-
looked it up and it was true. They did reuse those the uniforms.
Yeah, it was right after, I guess, soon after that the show was canceled.
Mhm.
So they got a really good deal on the costumes.
Yeah, pretty much. Look good.
Yeah. So what did you think? I mean,
It was very weird. Kind of confusing. I should say. I mean, I get the gist. They have to go to another planet because of some crash. They want to pick up the try to see if there's any people surviving and stuff. And it was weird. I mean, I really didn't. It really wasn't clear in the very beginning. I'm like, it was that God that was talking to that Oracle chick. It was.
yeah, it was a bit confusing and odd. I mean, unfortunately for me, this is the second time I had to watch this. I think it was like 5, 6. That was about 4 or 5 months ago. I saw it out of curiosity,
Mhm.
because I'd heard some, and of course, Tony, your husband, told me all about it.
He
He loves this film. So I'm like, okay, let me give it a shot. And I was left like, okay, this is bad, but and yeah, this time watching it again, I'm like, I actually fell asleep a little bit. I had to rewind a couple of parts, but yeah, it's pretty bad. It's
Yeah,
pretty bad.
you know what? Okay, I will give it this though. The acting was not bad.
Oh God, are you kidding me?
It's not okay. I've seen bad. Okay, what was it? Tommy Wiseau. Let's not go there.
Yeah,
But it really wasn't as bad as it could have been. It wasn't dorky. It wasn't stupid.
Well,
It was just weird.
yeah, because you do have a talented cast. You had Edward Albert as Cabron. You have Erin Moran, who was in Happy Days. She was
Mhm.
Joni.
Yeah.
Ray Walston from Fast Times at Richmond High. He was also in My Favorite Martian.
Mhm.
Sid Haig from all the what's the director he works with a lot, who did Three from Hell and
Um,
House of Thousand Corpses.
blah, 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 blah.
Rob Zombie.
There you go. There you go.
And Robert England, excuse
Of course. Yeah.
me. Yeah, it had a talented cast. I think it all kind of rested upon the direction or the lack thereof.
Yeah. And the storytelling.
And the storytelling. I mean, it was done on a shoestring budget, of course. I mean, it is a Roger Corman production.
I'm gonna tell you
Um,
that monster looked like the Wish or the Timu version of Godzilla.
You think so?
It was just so low budgety. It was
Oh God,
it was ugly.
Oh, it was horrible. But you know what? The FX weren't that bad. I mean, a lot of the gore, the giant worm, which we will get to.
Oh Lord Jesus, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a very key and pivotal scene. And but the plot and the story elements were just all over the place. I mean,
Mhm.
it wants to be Star Wars, and then it wants to be obviously Alien.
Yeah,
Uh,
I felt more aliens from that than anything else.
yeah, and then it tries to get a little 2001-ish, with I mean, what the fuck was up at the end where he's like, where Cabron fights what's his name, Core. He fights
Uh-huh.
Core, who is the master.
Yeah.
The master of what? I don't know. But then he fights him,
Exactly, yes.
and then he becomes the master, and then the
Why?
movie ends. I don't know. I tried.
Exactly.
But it was so yeah, I think me personally had to played it more straightforward, like a cheap version of Alien and just stick to the gore and the horror. But they try to get too weird and maybe artsy. I don't know.
They try
I
to
don't know.
go they try to go the fantasy route and is
It went from bad to strange to really bad to really fucking strange. Yeah, it was all over the place. Now let's talk about the scene.
Oh wow. So I was in shock. I turned my head for a couple of minutes. The woman had clothes on. Next moment, I turned my head back to the TV, and the chick is underneath a goddamn worm, naked. I should have rewinded it, but I was too much in shock. I'm like, and then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, no,
It was it.
nah,
Yeah,
no. Oh my god, yes. Oh Lord Jesus, she's being raped by a fucking worm.
yeah. I mean that was whoo. Okay, I knew that was gonna. You gonna. That's why I didn't. I purposely did not tell you about that scene because
Oh Lord, that was something. She almost died under that thing.
really, well, the
Yeah,
thing was
it was so
ginormous.
heavy. Yeah, it was so heavy that it almost crushed her to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Well, because of that scene, the movie, when it went through the MPAA to get rated, it got an X rating.
Jesus.
And so they had to cut it down, and especially the infamous scene of the worm rape.
I was
And
shocked. And
yeah,
that was not worm goo. That was worm.
oh god, did you have to go there? Oh,
That was
good.
that was worm jizz.
Oh, thank God I'm not watching that fucking movie again. Oh,
That was
geez.
so gross. I was happy that I had just finished eating when that shit came on. Oh my god, that was. I've seen some shocking shit, but that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they what they did with that scene, they actually they cut out frames from that scene to kind of shorten it a bit because you can actually see the worm thrusting.
No.
Yes. And if you watch it again closely, you can see the thrust to put. I don't know how much nicer to put it, but you see the fucking thrust, and you get a shot of her face in ecstasy and in climax.
Okay, you know what? I was gonna go there. I I'm like, don't is she climaxing? Because it did sound like she was, and I'm like, oh, that's
Oh,
fucking nasty.
oh God, it was. I was shocked. I really was. And to the credit of the filmmakers, it was well done. I mean, special effects wise.
It did. I mean, yeah. I don't know how
Yeah,
to.
but
Yeah, it looked good.
oh god, but unfortunately, that X-rated version, it's been confirmed that it's either lost or destroyed forever.
Good.
I'd be curious to see that shit.
Oh, dude, no. Oh, come on, man. Ew.
Yeah. One thing, and again, this is a Roger Corman film, and you've seen some. Have you ever seen Toxic Avenger or Surf
Nope.
Nazis Must
No.
Die?
Oh God, that's Tony's favorite freaking movie. Surf Nazis.
Yeah. I saw clips of it. I haven't watched the entire
Stupid.
movie. I'm
Fucking
fucking.
stupid. I'm sorry if any of you people out there like the movie. If you like it, that's great. Good for you. But no,
It's stupid.
it's stupid.
Well, isn't it some old lady who turns into a vigilante or some shit like that?
God damn.
I don't know what the fuck it was, but it's interesting because Corman, through his production company Trauma Pictures and New World, He actually fostered a lot of big name talents in allowing them to get behind the camera and to get exposure. So he was kind of like a film school for a lot. I know Joe Dante was there.
Mhm.
He went through there.
Wow.
Bill Paxton. He worked as an what was he? He was the art
Dress.
director.
No, he something to do with dressing.
Set dressing,
Yeah.
a and James Cameron was like an art director and a second
Yeah.
unit director, and it was kinda cool because one story that I read is that, Cameron had an idea how to shoot a scene, and he went to Corman, who's the big time producer, and he said, "Hey, give me a shot, let me direct this sequence," and Corman was like, "Go for it."
Oh, that's so freaking cool.
Yeah, so Roger Corman, he was the king of really bad films, but, he was a passionate filmmaker and a great businessman. He knew how to sell trash. He re he did, and the low budget nature in some of the sequences are just lovable. I mean, the Quest, which is the ship they're on,
Yeah.
the walls of that spaceship were made out of McDonald's takeout cartons.
No way.
Yeah,
All
I
right, you
mean
know what? That's I like that. I like that kind of stuff, When you don't have the money for it, get inventive.
Yeah, I mean, you got the cruise suits, which were like you mentioned earlier from Battlestar Galactica,
Mhm.
um, and let's not spend too much money on developing the script. Why?
Oh, why do we need a good story for, right?
Right, exactly. In fact, Sid Haig, he went to Corman, and he didn't think the dialogue matched his character, which what was his name, Q-Wad or some shit like that,
Piece of
and
fuck out of me.
yeah, so he went to Corman and he said if he can play his character more like a mute instead, so he doesn't have to talk. And you do know, you see in the film, he doesn't talk much throughout the entire film.
Yeah, that's true.
And it kind of works for the character, but Corman said, well, why would you want to do that for the character? Haig is like, have you read the script?
Oh Lord.
And of course, Corman said, fuck it, let's do it. Even Corman couldn't argue the fact that it was a bad script.
Oh man. Like I say, good actors.
Yeah, it had a decent cast. I mean, talented actors who had been around in the industry for some time. But yeah, it's just
Bad direction, bad screenplay, bad everything. I mean,
yeah, yeah. I mean, they wanted Mark Hamill for the role of Cabron.
he's like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Erin Moran, who again, unfortunately we lost her some few years ago.
Mhm.
She was originally supposed to do a nude scene.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and so she's like, you know what? She renegotiated the whole thing. Why don't you just give me a really good death instead?
But and I like that they were willing to, to work with that.
Yeah, it's not such a rigid, regiment of a production. It's like, no, we're making art. No, Corman knew they were making shit, and I mean, Corman, I think, was more of a refined version of Ed Wood, if you
Mhm.
will.
Right.
Where he knew he was making shit, but he knew his shit can make money and a profit. I mean, we'll get into the numbers of this one, for example, but
Mhm.
uh, but yeah. So what do you say we get into the budget and the box office?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the budget at the time was about 1.8 million,
Okay.
and that's about 6.2 million. The movie made $4 million at the time, which is about 13.8 million today.
Hmm. Wow.
Garbage making money, and
Yeah.
that's what Corman was about. He knew he was making bad shit, and he had fun doing it. And you know what? It shows through a lot of his films. They made money. It's like, especially the DVD, well, not the DVD at the time, but the VHS home rental and all that. These movies made money hand over fist.
Okay. Well, nice. And like I said, like you said, he had fun doing it, and that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. He knew he wasn't making avant-garde or anything artistic. I mean,
Exactly.
he was making a schlocky B flick. Not even a B fucking flick. It's more like a C flick. Um,
Damn.
Now reviews and scores, it generally received very unfavorable reviews. Believe it or not.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yes. All right. So IMDb. Oh shit! I thought there was a mistake that I had in my notes, but it's not. It's not. IMDb is sitting at a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
a 5 on IMDb. I thought that was a fucking mistake.
No, 5.0. That's right.
I'm thinking maybe 15 or 50. No, 5.0. So Metacritic 38, Rotten Tomatoes, critic score 29, audience score 28, and Letterboxd 2.7 stars out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So and no sequels or spin-offs or anything along that line. So thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was not very well received, but it made the money how it set out what it needed to do: make money by capitalizing on trends like Star Wars and Alien.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, they even had. I mean, this is one part where Cabron is fighting Core, and he does this flip in the air.
Mhm.
You remember that? He did like a fucking Jedi flip,
Oh, good lord.
and then he has this look on it. Oh, I have to mention before we continue, Cabron, who was played by Edward Albert.
Right.
What a fucking mustache!
That was a cool fucking mustache.
That was a porn stash.
No, I think porn stashes are a little bit thicker.
I don't know, but it was cheesy as fuck. I'm sorry. That was
The little dimple on the chin.
Oh, of course, you have to have the sculptured chin as well.
Yes.
And then when he's fighting Core, and you see him, with his blaster, and he's shooting at him, and then Core comes in, and then he does a backflip through the air like a Jedi, and then he lands ultra. Oh God!
Oh.
That was fucking bad. That was bad.
Oh, of course. But it
All
was
right,
funny.
it was. So let's go with our scores on this. You go first.
All right. Well, like I said, I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't goofy, it wasn't stupid, it wasn't badly acted, which I appreciated because it was a bad movie as it is. There was some good effects thrown in there here and there. But yeah, it was just a bad movie overall. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3 slimy, nasty ass space worms.
All right, fair enough. That's very generous.
It wasn't.
Yeah. To me, it made no sense. There was the film made no sense whatsoever. It's kind of funny when you're trying to make sense of something that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, come on, they're saying something. Meanwhile, Corman and his directors are going, we're not saying a fucking thing.
Exactly.
And you're kind of duped. There's subtext here. There's something going on here. No. It doesn't know what it wants to be. I mean, horrible direction, bad acting.
Bad acting.
The acting was bad. I'm sorry. Even though we had good talent in there, it was bad. So my rating on the Filmjoe scale, I'm going to go with 1 out of 10 giant space worms.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I tried to like it. I really did, but they left me no alternative.
Would you watch what's it? Drop Dead Fred over it?
I will watch Galaxy of Terror again. So
Damn, I can't get a break.
I will fucking watch the humping worm over this over Drop Dead Fred anytime.
You're nasty. You like that scene.
Yeah, I don't know. That was nasty.
It was sick.
Okay. Alrighty, so what do you say we dive into our next one?
All right, yeah, let's go.
All right. So in space, no one can hear you scream.
It's gotta be a way of killing it.
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism.
Get out of the way!
After investigating a mysterious transmission of unknown origins, the crew of a commercial spacecraft encounter a deadly life form. The film we're talking about is Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. The film stars Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, John Hurt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, Ian Holm, and Yaphet Kotto. Okay, So I literally just finished watching this
Mm.
maybe about half an hour before we started recording.
Right.
Holy shit, this is a beautiful fucking movie.
It still holds up. 1979, and it's still freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you can show that version exactly without changing a thing and throw that on the big screen and it will still be amazing.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've always been prone to watching the second one. So when I saw this one, it was brand new to me. I didn't remember it at all.
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, I've seen it several times throughout the decades, but it has actually been a while since I've seen this one. Like you're right, exactly what you. I'm always drawn towards aliens, you know.
Which is a
And,
great movie too, but this is the origins. This
oh,
was, oh my god.
it was a masterpiece, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, visually. I mean, I'm watching. I was watching a 4K copy, and the crispness and the clarity and the beauty of the shots of the the way the set the balance it's just beautiful to look at. And of course, you got a great script. The way it struck the cast is amazing.
A music score.
Oh, the music score, which I
Jerry
love because
Goldsmith.
Jerry Goldsmith, yes,
Uh-huh.
which they use sparingly.
Oh,
Um,
and when they do, it's perfect.
it's perfect. I mean, you always got this underlying score in there that's kind of like
Mhm.
creeping up, and when it kicks up, like the last 5 minutes or the 5 minutes till detonation.
My god, that was so freaking intense. I
Oh,
loved it.
oh, it was incredible. Which is a sequence that's been replicated time and time again throughout video games.
Oh yeah, that reminded me
And
of Resident Evil.
yeah, and that's exactly where they got it. The FX work, hands down, just phenomenal. I mean, the
Mhm.
xenomorph design itself. You know, what I loved about the xenomorph design that I caught this time around much more, which it had almost a biomechanical look to it,
Mhm.
and which made it blend in with the machinery.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Exactly. Hence the ending scene, the last part of the
Oh,
movie, where that fucking hand
yes.
comes out at her. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, it was great. Or like the scene where who was it? Harry Dean Stanton. What character did he play? When he's looking for the stupid cat.
Oh man.
Yeah, Brett. So Brett,
Yes.
he's looking for the stupid cat, and this one scene, and it's kind of like a wide shot, and you see the xenomorph hanging from like with this a bunch of chains hanging in the
Uh-huh.
background,
Yeah.
and this motherfucker is dangling slowly with the chains. And if you're not focused, if you're just kind of paying attention to everything else, you don't see it.
Oh, he's the ultimate fucking hunter.
Oh, it was incredible. And overall, and you got the pacing, which is it has like a slow, dreadful pace,
Mhm.
which blew me away.
It was perfect. I mean,
Yeah,
it starts off, pretty mellow, just another day on the spaceship, having lunch together, and
and oh
I
shit,
love the build.
yeah, the terror builds slowly,
Mhm.
and I love the fact that there is no jump scares. There may have been one, maybe,
Mm,
but that's not what's memorable. It's not the boo, oh fuck, I shit myself. No, it's the oh shit. You
yeah,
know,
the
it's
cat and
like
mouse.
the cat and mouse. It's the questions being what is it and where is it?
Uh-huh.
And the build up towards it, any corner they turn, it could be there. And then you got Ridley Scott who creeps the camera around and
Mhm.
slowly moves. Like you go into a big wide open space, and Ridley Scott, he'll give you that wide shot, but there's stuff above that
Mhm.
scene. And there is, and he's freaking you out. There's shit above us. And he slowly moves the camera up, slowly, little by little. And it's like, fuck you. Show us. I'm scared. And he really builds that tension. I mean, it was just masterful.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. And then not only that, I mean, it kind of pisses you off too because Ripley from the beginning she orders them to quarantine, and
And
her orders are overridden by that freaking what is that? What was he, like a cyborg or
yeah, Ash. Mhm.
Oh man, what a bastard, man. And oh my god, and all of that could have been prevented, but no. She even gets slapped in the face by
Oh,
Veronica
Veronica.
Cartwright.
Yeah, yeah, Lambert. She comes up to her, she's, "You bitch!" Bop. I'm like, oh. It was funny because I thought it was kind of funny, but not like funny, haha, this is stupid. But it was like, you can slap this look on Sigourney Weaver's face, Ripley. She's like,
Oh
what,
hell no.
what the fuck? I'm going to let this bitch live. I'm not going to kill her just yet. I'm going to let the alien eat her. You know, the alien's going to kill her. Fuck this bitch. And
Actually,
it was hilarious. You know, and I also loved, you know, the scattered dialogue, the overlapping dialogue,
mhm.
which give it a sense of authenticity as they're,
Right.
especially Yaphet Kotto, God rest his soul. He, rest in peace.
Mhm.
Yaphet Kotto was amazing. Of
He was
all the
awesome.
actors, yeah, the entire cast was great. Don't get me wrong. They were all great, but he really stood out in some sequences where he was just like so casual, so normal, so realistic.
Yeah, they were all
And I,
very believable.
yeah, and I love it because why don't you just freeze it? Just, why don't you just freeze it when they're trying to get the face hugger off?
Yeah,
And
no, for real. Like, why not?
yeah, which by the way comes. I don't know if I should spoil. It's a little spoiler, okay?
All
That
right.
comes into play in Alien Romulus.
Really?
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
need to see this movie.
Oh, you'll fucking love it. And don't watch any of the other ones. Just Aliens, and that one. That's it.
All right, will do. I won't waste my
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, just a beautiful film. It was well paced and well structured. I mean, you got the uneasy silence.
Mhm.
Uh, when there's no score going on, all you hear is the pulse of the ship,
Yeah.
but very subtle. It's not like boo, 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 but it's very, out in the distance. The ship,
Uh-huh.
it's the ship that's alive, but could it be their own pulse, their own heartbeat, or is it the heartbeat of this alien that's hunting them down? Yeah.
It just adds to the anxiety of it all. It's delicious. It was really fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, it was a feast for the eyes. And you think about it, you compare this to Aliens. Aliens ramps it up to 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
and this was taking you through a slow ride through hell. I mean, it's kind of like those carnival rides where into the fun house, and the cart you're riding in is doing like 2 miles an hour,
Mhm.
and you're forced to face these fears, and not and a movie that moves faster, you're not really in a position, you're not really soaking in the horror.
Right.
This here, the pacing lets you soak it in, and under the guise of a lesser director, this would be boring as hell.
Oh, no. Yeah, yeah, definitely, but no, this definitely was not at all.
Yeah, and I love also, now you know that Ripley was supposed to be a dude.
Really?
Yeah, and it was decided not for like, oh, the gender revolution, but you know what? Let's subvert the expectation because the guy is always the hero. Look at, you have Dallas, right?
Mhm.
He's cool, he's suave, he's good looking, he's humorous, he's a leader.
A little bit
He's
arrogant.
a little bit arrogant. He's the hero of the movie. But
Mhm.
then when he gets killed, she steps up because she's the second officer of the ship,
Mhm.
and she is in charge. She becomes a leader. She becomes a survivalist, and credit 350,000% to Sigourney Weaver. She really amps it up and she makes it work, and you believe her as she's. I would follow this woman into hell.
Oh, hell yeah. She was totally badass.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, and after when I watched it, I was so tempted to watch the sequel.
the aliens. Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, yeah, I was very tempted, but then I'm like, I gotta watch, uh, Galaxy Terror. I was like, all right.
Galaxy. Well, you got to see it. Yeah, that was a gem. Um, oh God. But again, going back to Scott's buildup of terror, when Dallas is in the air duct
Ooh.
and he's hunting down the alien, looking for him with the flamethrower,
Ah,
and I mean, it's like what, 3 by 3, in space, and he's
yeah.
going, and the alien is somewhere in there, and they have this tracker that's the when Lambert, because Lambert is
Oh my
walking through
god.
it, and
Yes.
she's like, "I don't see him. I don't." And you're like, "Oh shit! What do you mean you don't see him? You don't see where's the monster? You don't. It's not on the what do you call it? The detector." And when suddenly it starts moving towards him,
Uh-huh.
her voice, Lambert,
Oh my god.
amplifies the terror, the desperation, the fear, the horror. I mean, here's another credit right here. Veronica Cartwright. She sold it 150,000%.
Oh hell yeah. You actually believed that she was terrified. She was scared. Her voice was shrill. It was, oh my god.
Oh, I mean, it
The
was just
urgency.
yeah, and I mean, just and again, that's just one cog in the gears because everybody at the right moment they stepped it up to what they had to do. Ian
Mhm.
Holmes as Ash, Tom Skerritt, Japhet Kotto, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, who was in there for like until he got exploded, but
Right.
and he was fantastic. It was just it just lightning in a bottle. Great cast, great direction,
Mhm.
great script, and just the beauty of a film.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. Like I said, I honestly don't remember seeing this movie. I probably have, but it,
Mhm.
it, it was awesome. It really was.
Yeah, yeah. And then because, and it became an iconic film. You got the face hugger, you got the xenomorph, you got, the tagline in space, no one can hear you scream.
Mhm.
And the creation of a new hero in Ripley.
Yeah, and a new monster.
And a new monster. Just amazing.
Mhm.
What's interesting though, the facehugger, which I mentioned earlier in our opening,
Mhm.
um, the facehugger plays a huge part in Alien Romulus. Now, when they first created the facehugger, it was supposed to be painted green,
Right.
but Dan O'Bannon, seeing the unpainted version on the set, it had kind of like a Caucasian flesh color tone.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, fuck it, no, this has to be it. And he argued with it, for it to, it has to be pale. It has to be flesh tone. And they're like, okay, fuck it. And it looks great.
It really does. It was gross. It was creepy. It
Yeah. And
it looked
that's what
organic, it looked real.
it really, really did. And of course, the design of the space hugger itself, or the face hugger, not the space hugger, um, it still makes me gag when Ash is dissecting the face hugger.
Oh man.
You know how they got how they got that effect there, right?
Um, all I know is that they got some sea creatures,
Yeah.
crustaceans, and
Oysters, sheep kidney, internal organs.
oh god. You know what? Speaking of gross, when what was it? Ash? Was he the robot?
Yeah, he was the android, yes.
Oh my god, when he gets all cut up and they're looking inside him and stuff. Oh my god, that was so freaking gross.
Dude, when I was a kid and I saw that scene, I couldn't drink milk for a few months. That was fucking gross. Mom would be like, "Have your milk." No,
Nope.
that's
Nope.
that's android blood. I ain't drinking that shit.
No, then there was these little like milk grapes inside there.
Yeah, that was nasty. I love it. I mean, it was just so great. But
Yeah.
while they were doing that sequence with the autopsy, they had to do it quickly because
Ah,
they, they have it's seafood and these lights are the lights
they're
on
hot.
set. They're hot. They're 1Ks and the food fucking rots and it's gonna stink like hell.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was freaking gross.
Yeah. Now let's go to the design of the alien itself.
Yes.
I mean, I have an action figure on my desk right now of the alien. I'm looking at it,
Mhm.
and it's just beautiful. It is a work of art, and it is a work of art because H.R. Geiger or Giger, um, any of you Giger or Geiger fans out there, please no hate mail. I'm just stupid, okay? So, but it was based on his artwork, and he insisted that for the movie that the creature have no eyes
Okay.
and gives it a bleak appearance of coldness and emotionalness, and
Right.
it works, I think, because Yeah, I mean, the eyes of the shark in Jaws, pretty haunting, pretty intense,
Oh
and
yeah.
so, but no eyes, you can't read into this motherfucker. You don't know what all you see is this shape, this skull, and it's so
Eh,
much more effective.
Well, yeah. I mean, he might have eyes, but we don't know where they're at. I mean, that just adds to the fact that he is totally alien. He's different,
Oh,
you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, perfect design and just beautiful. Now you know what the original title of the film was?
You know what? I did see it, but I forgot. I didn't like it.
It's a bad fucking title.
It was
It's
really bad.
This is a Roger Corman title. Okay, Star Beast.
Oh, yep. That
I'm
was
like,
awful.
yeah, and it was Dan O'Bannon who wrote the script. He was never happy with that title, and one time he's just going through the whole script and he's reading the script cover to cover, and he realizes, they keep referring to this thing as Alien, this alien, the alien, and he's like, "Fuck it, that's the title." And what a brilliant fucking title!
Simple but perfect.
Yeah. And it's interesting, every film has the inspiration, that terrific gem of a masterpiece, Galaxy of Terror, that was that was, Star Wars and stuff like that. Well, this one was also inspired by Star Wars, and it was inspired by 2001, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh wow.
And you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, and I can see that the scene where Brett is in the cargo bay and those chains are hanging from the ceiling.
I suppose.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there, and I could see that, and of course, just the sheer terror of of the situation. So, being chased and being hunted.
Yeah, I could see that in the last sequence where she's hiding.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
absolutely. And again, you got the amazing special effects. I mean, and just like Galaxy of Terror, where they resorted to those cardboard McDonald cartons.
They tried. They
They,
tried.
they tried, they did, and I applaud them for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, the what you call it, the alien slime.
Uh-huh.
You know what that was, right?
Boogers.
KY jelly.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, and the tendons on the beast's jaws, on like how you
Oh,
see,
okay. I know that one. There were
yeah,
condoms.
shredded condoms.
Yep.
So I guess they partied before and just used whatever was left over for the movie.
Oh, gross. Gross. Blech.
Now you know who was considered for the role of Captain Dallas?
Captain Dallas. No.
Harrison Ford.
Ooh.
And he turned it down, and it makes sense that he would turn that down. I mean, he had just done Star Wars, and
He didn't want to be
and
typecast.
he didn't want to be typecast. Yeah, and I'm sure he would have did a great part. And plus, also the fact that his character gets killed halfway through the film probably didn't appeal too much, to him. He's like, "Don't kill me unless I'm Han Solo. Then kill me."
That was sad.
Yeah.
Poor Chewbacca. Dork.
So let's get into the budget and the box office on this.
Okie dokie.
All right. So the budget at the time. Well, before we get to the budget, it was 11 million. Now, originally, the budget on this was 4.2 million.
Wow.
So Ridley Scott put together storyboards for the film to present to the producers.
Mm-hmm.
He showed them the storyboards, and they're like, 4.2? You want more? We'll give you 8.4.
Damn.
Based on the storyboards that he put together.
They
So,
really do.
they knew this is going to be fucking amazing. So it went from 8.4 million. And of course, as any budget goes, it's going to balloon a little bit. So it went up to 11 million. And that's about $47.6 million today.
Mm-hmm.
Box office at the time, 184.7 million.
Wow.
Yes, which is about $800 million today.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was huge. So, when you hear movies say, I always harp on this, and I know I sound like a broken record, but when they, say, "Oh, this is the first movie to hit 1 billion or come close to what," shut up. They call it adjusted inflation. Shut the fuck up. Eat a cracker drink a soda, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
tell him. You tell him.
Yeah, shit. That's right. All right. I got that off my chest now. All right. All right. So let's go with reviews and scores. So for this, we got a double whammy. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert both give it a yes vote.
Wow.
Ebert, he called it one of the scariest old-fashioned space operas that he could remember. And Gene Siskel, he agreed that it was very scary, but he said basically it was a haunted house film set in a spaceship. Not the greatest science fiction movie ever made, but scary. So
okay, all right.
So they really enjoyed it. IMDb 8.8, Metacritic 89, Rotten Tomatoes 93% critic score with an audience score of 94%. And Letterboxd 4.35 stars out of 5.
Shit.
Yes. So first of all, this one, it did have sequels, as we all know.
Right.
This came out of 79. In 86, we had Aliens from James Cameron, which was phenomenal. One of the best sequels ever made.
Yeah.
1992, we have David Fincher's Alien 3, which was okay. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it had its reasons. It had a lot of potential.
Right.
And then you have Alien Resurrection from 1997, which is pretty bad. Alien versus Predator in 2004, which is worse.
Oh, God.
Alien versus Predator Requiem, vomit.
Wow.
Prometheus, confused vomit. Alien Covenant, vomit with a clue, but it was still vomit. And Alien Romulus, thank God for Fede Alvarez.
Wow.
Yeah. So it spawned quite a few, and from what I understand, they are planning additional sequels for this new part of the franchise.
Right. They're gonna milk it.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the meantime, we got Alien Romulus, which is a gift to us Aliens fans, and yeah, first opportunity you get, go watch it. It's excellent.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's give our ratings on this. I'll go first.
What are we rating it on?
Face huggers.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
So, it was creepy. It was scary. It was horrific. Great cast. It was atmospheric. Amazing cinematography. And just an amazing exhibition of horror, tension, and suspense. An amazing film. I'm going to go with 9.5 out of 10 face huggers.
Okay. Can't argue with that.
It's an amazing film.
Oh, it really was. So I mean, I guess you've basically said it all. I mean, wonderful music score.
Oh yes.
Wonderful cast. Great pacing. Great anxiety-driven roller coaster ride.
A slow roller coaster ride.
Oh, it starts off slow, but when it gets going, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was awesome. So I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 face huggers. Agreed.
The only reason I gave it 0.5 less instead of a 10 was because of the fucking cat. Why she have to go after the stupid cat? I don't know.
Oh, come on. Poor kid.
It wasn't her fucking cat in the first place. It belonged to Brett.
Yeah, but I mean, it was innocent. Come on. Poor kitty cat. Fuck the cat.
Fuck the cat.
Think about it. She felt alone. Everybody's dead. She needed that cat.
Well, you know what? I would have needed it too. You know what for?
No.
Yes. Fucking alien is chasing me. He's after me. I grab the cat by the tail, swing him around, throw him the other direction. Alien goes for the cat. I'm safe.
I thought you were going to say you were going to eat it because you're alone on the spaceship and have no food.
If I get hungry enough. I'm just saying. Okay. So now, based on these two films, I got a few recommendations. If you got some, chime in. Let me know. So I recommend along this line, it's a good B flick, and it's a movie called Species.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yes, it's a good alien flick. Alien comes down to Earth, takes the form of a woman. She's deadly, and she's on the rampage. Really, really good film. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you get a chance, recommend it. Of course, we have to recommend Predator.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
They're cousins, you know.
They are. I don't know why they were fighting. I mean, like,
Inheritance. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Kumbaya, motherfuckers, have a party. Yeesh. So, but yeah, I recommend those two. You have any recommendations along that line that you can think of?
You know what? To be honest, there's not really that many cool alien movies. Attack from Mars, was it?
Mars Attacks.
Mars
Oh
Attacks.
God,
There you go.
yeah. No, that was pretty bad. I liked it though.
There's been a couple of. I mean, what is it? Independence Day. There's really not on that level really.
Yeah. I mean, there's been knockoffs or wannabes like Galaxy of Terror, but nothing that really reached that same level. I mean, not even the sequels that came out afterwards. I mean, what's interesting is that based on Star Wars and Aliens, I mean, there was a whole bandwagon of films that try to jump in on that. I mean,
Mhm.
you had, oh God, this one was horrible, and I remember watching Forbidden World from 1982. It's
Oh, I've
bad.
never seen it.
Yeah, it's bad. And then one of my favorites, movie called Humanoids from the Deep
Oh my god. Okay.
from 1980. They hunt human women not for killing, but for mating.
Ah, come on.
I
Ew.
kid you not. I saw I remember I must have been like 12 years old or something. We went to the drive-in, right? And we're watching, I forgot something else. And you know how like drive-ins had 3 screens, look out your back window, you can see another film.
Right.
And all I see is like these creatures coming off out of the ocean and hopping onto like a pier, and there's women running and they're grabbing women and tearing off their clothes and jumping on them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was quite quite an interesting film. And I never got to watch it full through, and you know what? Out of morbid curiosity, I have to see it now.
You go right
Um,
ahead.
and then you have 1978. It was a movie called Star Crash. And I remember wanting to watch this because
Uh-huh.
Star Wars had come out, and we went to go see it, and I was just blown away.
Yeah.
And now, when you're a kid, you don't think, oh, that's a cheap knockoff. It's a ripoff.
No. You actually appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah, you go, oh, it's another Star Wars kind of movie, and
Yeah.
and it was garbage. I was disappointed.
Thank
And then
God
you
we had shows, like fucking was that Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah, and Buck Rogers and stuff like that. It was
I
good
didn't like Buck
stuff.
Rogers.
Buck Rogers was cool.
I
Twinkie the
did.
Robot, loved Twinkie the Robot.
I'll take Twinkie the Robot, but I 100% I was in love with freaking Battlestar Galactica. It was badass.
It was cool, but come on, Gil Gerard as Buck Rogers, he was badass.
Come on, man. You had Starbuck.
Yeah, he was alright.
Oh my god, he was so freaking cool.
Yeah, no, Battlestar Galactica was cool. That was cool. I mean, I was my character was what was her name? Apollonia, was it?
No, Athena.
Athena, yeah, that was my favorite character. But yeah,
Athena, Cassiopeia. Oh, but it
oh,
was awesome.
Cassiopeia, that was my girl, the beautiful blonde with the sparkling blue eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, she was awesome. And then in 1980, you also had a movie called Battle Beyond the Stars, and that was with who was it? He played John Boy on the Waltons, something Thomas, and you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and that was pretty big. That's also Roger Corman film, and you know what? That one was actually better than Galaxy of Terror.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. I mean, but yeah, there was quite a few of those films. And you know what? That's what was beautiful about the 80s is that, you had small studios like New World and Hamdale and Canon and Afgho Embassy and all these small little studios. They wanted to jump in on the big studio bandwagon and capitalize on these films and make cheap ripoffs. And some of them were really fun.
Some of them were, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and some were terribly bad, but I think that was part of the fun of it.
You remember Hardware Wars?
Oh yeah, with ham solo.
No.
And,
Ham salad.
ham salad. Oh
Yes.
God! And Chewbacca was basically a brown Muppet.
It was a brown cookie monster.
Oh my god, I love that one. I think I have it somewhere. I definitely got to look it up
I would
again.
love to see that again.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So this was fun. What do you say we start winding it down?
Okay, if we must.
If we must. So I'll give a closing thought this week.
Okay, good.
You're like, I got nothing.
I never am prepared for this.
And you know it's coming, but you never. Okay. So season 3, we had a blast. Season 4, it's going to be even better.
Oh my god, yes, it will.
Yes. So again, like we mentioned earlier, we're going to have the next 4 Wednesdays. We're going to be dropping mini episodes, starting with Jaws this next week, and go from there. So definitely check it out. After we finish our mini-sodes, we'll probably have about 1 or 2 weeks off, and then we'll return with season 4.
Yeah.
So please make sure you join us for that, and save the date.
Absolutely.
All right. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Please help to support the podcast by giving us a 5-star rating. Leave us a good review. Or another way you can help to support the podcast is simply to follow us on Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Audible, Boomplay, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Also, don't forget to swing by our Instagram page. We got a lot of cool stuff on there. Sometimes we have announcements. Sometimes we have stupid little videos, all kinds of shit. TikTok, same thing. And check out our YouTube channel. That's where we have all of our regular episodes come out as well. So check them out. All those links, they're in our Linktree below in the show notes. So please click on there. We have all of our platforms there. We have our merch store, which you can buy some cool stuff. We have hats, we have t-shirts, we have shot glasses, we have fanny packs, we have...
Fanny packs?
Yeah, fanny packs.
That's so 80s.
You know, there's still people out there who will use a fanny pack. And especially, a Filmjoe fanny pack. Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. You can also contact us directly via email to thefilmjoepod@gmail.com. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you, get your feedback. So that's about it. That's the end of season 3. We thank you so much. So with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy.
And this is the Filmjoe podcast,
where film talk happens.